This month, I'll let the energy help me to prioritize my projects and goals so that I don't have to work so damn hard to figure it all out. Welcome to Moonlit Magic. We're going to unlock each of the major moon phases as we move through this. So you're going to want to watch this all at once to make sense of the upcoming month, and then meet me back here every week to freshen up the energy and remind ourselves what our intentions for this month are all about. This breaks down into 4 installments. Pull out your own cards and play along with us. We'll take a moment. If you have an intention for the month, let's pause if we need to and set it now. We're here to talk about the new moon and the momentum that we feel of the energy month to month. That this is not a start and stop. This is a fluid experience. So there are waves of energy. And as we move into our brand new month, our brand new moon phase, we're going to have new messages. All kinds of new energy to unlock. So let's get started. Here is our first message for the new moon in Aries. Merge. Allow your head and heart to meld together as you embrace all parts of you. The marriage of ego and soul creates an expansion and awakening, where your resistance to new ways of being and thinking dissolve, unveiling the love and truth of you. Just for today, start from where you are and choose to feel the best you can in every moment. Love yourself by caring about what you say to yourself. You can choose to love your mind and all its thoughts, ideas, beliefs, and characters. Today, you can choose to say to your mind, I hear what you say. However, today I exercise my free choice not to listen. Today, I choose a new story for myself, and whatever you say to me doesn't matter. For you are a part of me, and today I choose to embrace and love every part of me with a big cuddle. You are stronger than you think. You are not who you think you are. You are much, much more. So that is the very first message for the new moon in Aries. And what I've been experiencing of this new moon energy is it's very explosive, but it's not very directed, unless you have a laser focus and then you're able to take this energy and drive it forward. For me, the energy is kind of all over the place, like an explosion or a firework and then burn out. And it's very hard to sustain. So there is a momentum and an energy, a big energy to this that we're going to learn to balance as we move through the month. But as we plant the seeds of the new moon, this is what we're learning to do. Merging the head and heart. There will always be signs to guide you on your true path. Strength comes from your connection to the root of your being. So staying connected, staying guided by our intuition as we decide what is head, what is heart, what is truth, and what is not. And now, so this is the moon phase and theme that we're exploring. We do this every month now, the moon moods. So we have an idea of how to harness this energy and work with it in a playful yet healing way. Now we're gonna look at our intention and focus for this moon phase. Hecate's path is the cycle of life, night magic, crossroads, and letting go. Meditation. To see more clearly, close your eyes. Night magic, crossroads, and letting go. Crossroads of the head and heart. Sometimes it's hard to tell what's true, and what's logic. What is a fear feeling and what is a desire feeling, and to feel the subtlety in between those and to start to again, merge your ideas together about what is true to you, and to not have to conform to anyone else's way of seeing it, and to let them go on their path as well. Crossroads. That way we can keep relationships alive and healthy as we move through our true path as well. Now, satisfying choices, which is wounds, remedy, magical medicine, sacred heart, another day. Harmony makes the song of life sweeter. Magical medicine, sacred heart. This is remedy. Harmony between all of these things. Harmony between the mind and the heart is what we're seeking. So it's very important to feel the satisfaction of each choice. Small choices, big choices. But in order to feel satisfied with very big choices in our lives, we need to trust ourselves, and we need to allow ourselves to focus on each step of growth, each step of healing, progress towards whatever our goal is. Let satisfaction be the guide. Let it be the harmony that makes you feel sweet inside, and let that be what guides your next step. Lessons of self-awareness for the new moon. Closing circle. Pure intent, sacred doors, timing and experience. Connection. Father Divine and Mother Earth, make love in your heart. That is so interesting. The head and the heart, the divine and the earth, and where we are pulling these from. Interesting that body and earth can represent, and heart actually can represent one another. Heart chakra especially. That's all very body related. And sometimes we confuse our spirit with our mind. We confuse truth with anxiety, and it's very important to really merge, okay? Create that connection between what is above and what is below, and almost take it in a very aligned state from the earth to the heavens and back, so we know that the channel there is aligned and open. That way we are not being pulled into the momentum of things that are not meant for us, or at least if we play in those things, not for too long. I hope you're enjoying yourself so far. If you are enjoying this complimentary reading, please hit the like button and subscribe, hit the little bell notification, because we do go live every month and also put out these, I think fun, cool readings. These help me heal, and I hope they help you as well in a different, more lighthearted way. Now, this is going to be our advice and resources for the Aries new moon. Sacred seances, spirit world messages, assistance, and memories. That's sort of what we're doing right now. Journey. To enjoy the journey, let go of the outcome. Messages, assistance, memories. Within this spirit, this isn't clear, it's not tangible, and we can't necessarily control this journey. This is a thing that we cannot control. We can attempt to grasp and hold on to almost everything else that is within our physicality. We can choose to ignore the spirit, the synchronicities of the messages, the help from beyond this world, and how our dreams and memories all play together for our growth. We can ignore that if we want to, because it's possible. You can. It's easy. Just to go on autopilot, to numb. It's not satisfying. It's a very, I would say, boring, miserable experience. But we can do that. We have these beautiful choices, and the journey is perspective. The journey is about what we want to see. So if we choose to see the assistance, the synchronicities, and the light-hearted, the lighter things in life, and appreciate those, that will reflect in how we experience the journey. On the flip side, and mind you, there's no just one or the other. It's a very interesting experience for us all, very unique, but we have the choice to it's stagnancy, to choose to believe that we don't have assistance in the energy, that it's not constantly encouraging us to move, is where I think we, at least I, get stuck. And I encourage you to let the energy flow through you. It's going to make you feel different every day, but that's okay, and it's supposed to. Let it move you, let it move through you, and you will feel different. Now this is going to be our action steps. Salamander, Ouroboros, creative work, infinite wisdom, and alchemy. Out of the chaos comes creation. It's so funny because we talk about this often in creative work, infinite wisdom, alchemy. It comes from the heart. It comes from allowing space for creation without outcome, without knowing what we're making, and without it having to be so serious. As we close our new moon reading and bring it all together, what I'm feeling really is that anxiety that we mistake, the chaos of our mind, really weaves together when we allow ourselves to merge the creative heart, okay, the body, the mind, the spirit. When we allowed all those things to come together, align through us, and feel the momentum of the energy as it moves through us, we are going to experience something different. And that's what's going to bring this message all together. Thank you so much for being here for the new moon messages. Please join us again next week for the half moon, which is going to be the first quarter moon. And we're going to have a whole new set of messages to help us harness the energy of that moon phase as well. Here is our final messages. Astral travels. Possible impossibility, freedom, traveler, and inner dreams. Possible impossibility. What ties it all together? Belief. What we believe about ourselves, our lives, the magic or lack thereof. That is what we are working with here. Fearlessness. Oh, that's amazing. Possible impossibility, freedom. Turn your worrier into a warrior. Fearlessness. And let's pull one final message for this new moon phase. Oh, I'm stuck. What is our final message for the new moon in Aries? If you haven't yet, please like this video and subscribe. That really does help me out. It shows me that you enjoy this, that you help me boost it out to other people, and I really, really appreciate it. Magic. There is magic and miracles all around me. Where others see coincidence, I see evidence of life's synchronicities. I love filling life with wonder and magic. It's way more fun that way. Exactly what we spoke about. Create what you want. The perspective is yours, and the journey will feel as satisfying as you let it. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next week for the half moon. Welcome back to the half moon or the first quarter phase, and I hope you are feeling that momentum that we talked about, that this energy flows one into the next. And it's not even just these 4 moon phases that we're here to explore this month. There is a lot more intricacies to how this energy flows, but it is a cycle. Many cycles and patterns that might help you unlock why you feel certain ways at certain times of the month, the week, or even during the day. It affects us differently, and we want to talk about that and start to make it normal to track that and understand. Now we're going to explore the first quarter moon, and this is a waxing cycle. The moon is getting bigger, the energy is growing. So what are we going to unlock and harness this phase? The healer within. When you awaken to your truth, I just want to note really quickly that if you were not here for the new moon, we talked about getting into that place where we trust ourselves. So your truth is inner truth, and the connection from your head to your heart, your spirit, your body, the earth, the divine, that is all very unique. So check that out if you don't remember what that message was about. The feeling is so incredible and freeing that you may feel that it is your responsibility to help all feel this good. To try and awaken others is not the role of a healer. Your job is to feel the best you can in every moment and be in full balance with you. Allow your higher self, the whole of the universe, to shine through you and inspire others to choose to see the world differently, if they so desire. Whatever they choose to do is up to them. We spoke about our journey at the new moon. You have the choice to love you, and that is all. Everyone is at different levels of perception and consciousness. Wherever anyone is perfect for them in their life at that moment. Let everyone be as they are and just focus on the feeling that the best you can right now. No one has to change for you to feel love, because you are the love. So here, we're pushing through insecurities. Maybe those insecurities have to do with people not agreeing, and that makes us feel wrong because people don't agree. But we're talking about inner truth and what is created from that, to know where our power is, and our power is inside. Our power is in our choices, not the choices of others, or not influencing them, modeling a life that makes others want to step into their own truth. Truth, speak from your heart. It is the only thing worth listening to. Use creativity to transform your pain into positivity. I don't know if you saw this at the bottom of the deck. Creation. For the new moon was merging the head and the heart, the connection, and what we create from that space of truth. So this is a perfect message for moving through the month, because we were just working through that. Remembering though too that our perception is very much how we choose to see the world. We can choose to see things exactly as they are, the tangible, the things that we can move, touch, and control, or we can choose to believe in things beyond us, that we have help, messages, assistance beyond our physical body, that things are moving outside of us. Energy is working with us at all times, and that is what we are unlocking. So that is the theme for this moon phase. Now we are going to go into our intention and focus for the first quarter moon. Again, this is growing energy. Boundaries. Don't we love boundaries? Forgiveness. You'll find freedom in forgiveness. There is a letting go, right? With boundaries that, let me just say it this way. When we first create boundaries, they are very harsh and intense, because usually we've not had any sense of self-preservation. Usually we've been walked all over, or we're learning, we're growing, we're learning what it's like not to just like give of ourselves until we are completely depleted. There is something to let go of here, so that that experience begins to soften. I don't know what that is for you. It's not letting something back into your life that's toxic, but it is allowing this to start to soften. Your boundaries, the forgiveness that you need to feel on the inside comes from a truth, okay? There's an insecurity comes from fear. What are you afraid? Who are you afraid is going to take advantage of you if you let your walls down? Not to let those people in, but maybe for you to see out, for you to have a new, softer perspective, and maybe to let new people into your life. People who deserve to be there. New experiences. Now, satisfying choices. Attraction, vulnerability. Showing vulnerability is a sign of strength. Now, isn't that interesting with what was just said here? Because obviously you're reading this along with me. This is an intuitive message. This is something that I do for myself to help myself clarify what I'm feeling, understand what's going on, and again, harness the energy for myself. So that is what I am just telling you, what I feel from each collection of messages. So here we are softening, might be forgiving ourselves, forgiving choices that were made. There are different levels of things, bitterness that we hold on to. And I want you to not think so much of forgiving a person, but a level of bitterness or how that blocks our availability, our vulnerability, our openness. That when we block the doorway for someone to get in, we also block ourselves in, okay? So there is an opening and an allowing, a softening that is going to bring this remedy, magical medicine, okay? It's not going to be all now, but we have to start opening back up a little bit. Okay, so now lessons of self-awareness. The masculine, very interesting. To calm your monkey mind, do not feed the animal. Something super interesting about this is the masculine energy is action-oriented energy. Sometimes when we feel insecure, right, and don't even tell me I'm wrong about this. When we feel insecure, when we feel anxious, anxiety, things running through our mind that are not the truth, okay? Stories we're creating that are not the truth. We tend to seek stimulation. Go out and provoke stimulation where it is not necessary. So be aware of that when we feel uncomfortable, that we're not deflecting that energy in toxic ways, even if we take action, that we know what we're doing with that energy. Now, even if we choose to make a mistake, okay, and I'm just gonna say a mistake to me means a choice that we've made, a similar feeling choice before in a similar feeling situation, and we kind of pretty much know how this is going to turn out. It's probably not going to turn out that great, and we already know that, but we're going to do it anyway, and we're going to forgive ourselves for it, okay? Because that's what we're doing. It's not about shame. It's not about saying, oh gosh. It's just noticing where we are out seeking stimulation that may not be the best for us. But also not carrying that shame later when we have made a choice, taken an action, timing, experience, exploring. This is a curious energy. But if we're doing it without self-awareness, it can be a very toxic energy. And so that's why this is a lesson, not to take our discomfort and go out and do stuff with it, talk to people, vent, drink, whatever, like whatever our default is, to numb it out, to deflect it. Rather, sit with it. Probably not what you want to hear, but that's my suggestion. Thank you so much for being here for the first quarter moon, the half moon, pushing through our insecurity. This is something I just enjoy doing for myself, and my friends enjoy it too. My mom likes it, so that's why I'm here. And if you are enjoying this complimentary self-care ritual, please hit the like button and subscribe right now. We go live once a month for the full moon, and we would love to have you there. I am just really appreciative that you're here, that you're listening to my rambling, and if you do like this, let me know in the comments as well. So now we are on to advice and resources. Self-love, I love it so much because we're talking about insecurity. Oh, it's so beautiful. Journey, this is the same card I had in the same exact spot last time too. Enjoying the journey. Oh, I love it so much. That's what this is about. Perspective again of journey. I'm going to give you the same exact thing I said last time, if I can remember it, or at least the gist of it. The journey, this is where we pulled magic. It's about perspective. The journey feels as we expect it to feel. It feels as we will believe that it would feel. If we believe that there is magic, that there is spirit and messages coming in, synchronicities and assistance from beyond, and that we learn through dreams, we are going to have a much different experience if we value ourselves than if we are making choices from insecurity, that we choose to believe that the only thing that is real is what we can touch. It's just a different experience, and it's all about what you choose to believe. It's for you. If you believe that magic is not real, you're probably not here, and you find me delusional and probably boring. So you probably wouldn't be here anyway. But if you are here, even as a skeptic, I appreciate you. I hope that you're feeling some sort of resonance. This is about healing, but doing it with a lighter heart, a lighter perspective, because we all live in this day-to-day experience. All on its own is tough. And then we go and talk about healing, therapy, and all these different things. Please go to therapy if you can go to therapy, okay? Please do. Please at least explore that for yourself. Have support and things in your life if you can, but this is just an added thing to bring clarity. And if we can bring some lightheartedness and some playfulness into our lives, what is the harm in that? We could all use it. Now, here are our action steps. Protection. Listening. If you want to be heard, learn to listen. So interesting about this. You know, sometimes these come up and I'm like, what am I going to say about that? That's my first protection. What's my first instinct on that without getting too rambly about it? But when listening comes up, oh, that makes it so clear to me. We are out here, right? When we start to feel the satisfaction, God, we want to share it. And I'm telling you right now, most people are not ready to hear it. Most people, when you want to tell them, give them real, true, healthy advice, and they're not asking for it, and sometimes even if they are asking for it, they're not going to take it. And if you take that personally, God damn, that is going to hurt. It's going to hurt a lot, and it's going to hurt so many times. It's going to consume you. You have to be your whole self, a whole person outside of what we're doing here, what your work is or your purpose, what you feel, the spirit and healing, the self-love, the journey, whatever you think that you're creating, whatever feels right to you. That's beautiful, but we cannot expect other people to be in our timing and to experience the world the way that we do. So it's very, very important to create, to hold this alchemy, to do this work. The infinite wisdom here is to listen to others, hear them when they tell you where they are. Don't try to force them to be where you are. Let them be on their journey exactly as they are. And what is going to protect you, your spirit, from feeling rejected and left out is protecting yourself by listening to those who are telling you they are not ready or they do not agree. And I'm not saying they have to agree to be in the same mindset, but if they don't agree and you feel a level of resistance from them, don't push. Don't go out and provoke something. Don't go out and provoke something because you're bored, because you need the stimulation. because that's going to end up making you feel or leaving you feeling the opposite of of the feeling you wanted to give those people. And then they're not going to believe you. They're going to think, why is this person so dead set on, why are they so hung up on me? If they're so fulfilled and they're so happy, why do they care what's going on with me? Model your peace, your calm from within, and then other people will wonder. They will want to experience, at least even if they don't want to experience what you have, they might be curious just to see, to peek, to hear. They're going to want to know for themselves. You don't have to explain anything to them. If people think you're weird enough, they're going to at least poke around a little bit and see what you're doing. Now, on to our final message. Thank you so much for being here. This is what ties it all together, brings the momentum and the movement, this wave of energy from this week to the full moon. And now we are going to unlock this. Please consider joining us for the full moon. Every month we get together live and we talk about how we're actually moving through this energy, experiencing it, and using it to heal, grow, and take care of ourselves a little bit better. We also play Oracle Cards for Humanity, which is just a fun little way to give you free messages if you join us live. So please join us for that. Surrender. I love that message that ties it all together, kind of just soaking into it, allowing it all to happen. Destiny. Follow your instincts. They lead to the truth. Possible impossibility. Freedom. Inner dreams. Believing that allowing the experience is just as powerful as forcing it, maybe even more so powerful. Believing that forcing the experience through manipulation and control maybe isn't quite as powerful as placing our dominoes and knocking the first one and letting it go, and then placing another set of dominoes, at least saving our energy in between by letting things unfold a little bit more softly. I am very, very appreciative for you. Now let's pull one bonus message for this final message of the first quarter moon. What does it say? Morning rituals. In the morning, I will take time to tune into myself, to set high vibrational rituals that will help lead me to a good day. I pay attention to the morning habits that don't serve me and change them for ones that do. Follow your instincts. They lead to the truth. The truth shall set you free. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you next week for the full moon reading as we unlock a whole new set of energy. Welcome back. We are here to harness the full moon in Libra, and what that means, we go into deeper detail about it in our full moon live stream, how this energy is affecting us. But what we are doing with the full moon in Libra intuitively is taking all that explosive energy that we have been working with that has kind of been just like a boom and then burnout. We are going to balance that now and find the momentum of the things that we want to let smolder. The creative efforts, the relationships, the energy that we want to create space for, and creating a balance with our day-to-day lives. So we're feeling satisfied, even though we might be exhausted. It's that good type of tired where we're not burning the candle at both ends. We are creating a sustainable force now, and we're gonna find energy and play with our energy until we create that balance that is unique for ourselves. So intuitively, that is what is happening for the full moon. Check out that live stream. We do this every single month and we play with the energy. We talk about how it's moving for us. Here is going to be our message for the full moon in Libra, finding balance. Animals. That is so unique and so interesting. The energy of animals reflects our instinctual nature. Noting the full moon, the wolf howling at the moon, the intensity of the illumination phase. That's what this is. This is a very intense energy, and it is bringing these polarities together, that Aries energy from the beginning of the month and the Libra energy are polarities, and what they do is illuminate all those little shadows that we normally don't see. They take away all the shadows and they give us no place to hide. So connect with the instinctual nature of what this message is drawing out. Allowing us to draw on skills and abilities. Our instincts are what we generally describe as a gut feeling, intuition, or psychic ability. Just observing animals directly or symbolically brings us in touch with our own animal nature, an aspect of ourselves often repressed. We are all one. Life is life, flowing from the same source, manifesting as different species. We are streams of uniqueness, ever-expanding love and light, traveling our own path to experience life in new and varied forms. Once you feel your own uniqueness and love, it becomes easy to communicate with all forms of life, feeling their originality instead of trying to communicate through your opinions, values, and conclusion. That was a big, before we go on, that was a big theme for the moon phase that we just moved through, pushing through insecurities. So if you're feeling called to that, communicating without trying to impress your own opinions, beliefs, values, and conclusions, instead connecting in a new and alternative way, go back and watch that message for the half moon or the first quarter moon. Animals are fully present in the now, a gentle reminder to adapt and adjust in every situation. Here you will be in the flow, and the path of least resistance will present itself. Now, dreams. Dreams are where your mind translates the divine. Very important to pay attention to our dreams because they may be very intense during a full moon phase. The only illusion is separation. Love that. So beautiful and so interesting with this animal message, that instinctual message. Very interesting to notice that souls intertwine, that things aren't as separate as they seem when we're talking about tangible. So now, after exploring the theme of this moon phase, we are going to focus on our intentions. This is intention and focus. Instead of praying for an outcome, I pray for the highest good of all, focusing our energy in a different way. Creativity, using creativity to transform pain into positivity. That's a really interesting way to put this, because there's no separateness, okay? We're talking about oneness, the highest good for all. And when we can find this balance between self and all of being one, the oneness of all of our experience, that unifying experience that transcends the illusion of separateness. It's beyond the mind. It's of the heart. It's not something that we can fake. It's something that happens, and it's also something that we talked about earlier. Bringing this all together was softening some of our boundaries because we've had wounds. and the vulnerability is going to open new things to us. So letting certain things in, learning to soften how we were holding and seeing things. We don't have to let toxic influences and things back into our life, but we don't want to block ourselves in. We don't want to block everything out, and just to be aware of what those things are. So now we're moving to our satisfying choices. When I am connected to my joyful presence, I attract support from the universe. Okay? Attraction, joyful presence. So remedy, the magical medicine, the sacred heart, connecting to our, it's a choice. Okay? Satisfying choices again and again. Connecting to our vulnerability and our joyful presence is attracting support. Believing that we have assistance in this energy. We're harnessing it. The momentum of this energy flows from each moon phase in all these different ways. Our life is full of cycles and patterns, and we have to look at how each affects us and how we want to respond to that. That is all of our power all the time. So we should never feel helpless. We should feel like we have satisfying choices in almost all situations. Even if they're impossible situations, possible impossibility, it's a surrender thing. There's not always something we can do. Sometimes we have to allow things to unfold and let ourselves be satisfied just sitting still with the energy. So be proud of ourselves just sitting with the discomfort. We can be proud. That's the simplicity of this, is realizing we don't have to do anything to feel satisfied. We don't have to accomplish. It's not about productivity. It's just about feeling it, being with it, growing from it, experiencing it. No one will believe in you if you don't believe in yourself. So be your own cheerleader. Your joyful presence is a choice. Believing in yourself is also a choice. No one will believe in you if you don't believe in you, and you're going to attract exactly what you believe about yourself. Very, very important to note. Now we're moving to our lessons of self-awareness. I am a spirit having a human experience, and I'm here to get closer to love. Recognize the divine in the mirror. I am a spirit having a human experience. Look in the mirror and recognize that. That's such a big part about this, what we're doing here with our lessons in self-awareness generally, or what we have been talking about, is how we're playing with an experience and we go out and we take actions and we stimulate different experiences. We kind of poke and play but at some point we have to realize that we have to see the patterns. Okay, we have to see that we are in control of much more than we think. Every time we feel uncomfortable, if we go out and we do something with that, we act into it without the clarity of what we're doing with it, without the clarity of the goal we have or the outcome, the feeling outcome that we want to create, we are going to create experiences we do not enjoy very much. So the playful, innocent intent is beautiful. Do what you need to do, but at some point realize that the experience is by choice. And whether that's by your spirit's choice, your divine choice, or your human choice, your human mental choice, for whatever reason you do it, all of it's perfectly okay, but you have so much power and you need to believe that you do. Thank you so much for being here. If you're enjoying this, would you just help support me and this channel, help us grow? Like this video and subscribe right now. Share it with a friend. I really do appreciate it. Again, make sure that you are here every month when we go live so you can chat with us and get your own free oracle reading. Now, here we go with our advice and resources. When I am in alignment with love, of the universe. Peace cannot be disrupted, and that is so true. Abundance, the world is abundant when you choose to see it that way. And that's the biggest part about this. We're manifesting our beliefs. It's not necessarily manifesting our fears or desires, our goals. We're manifesting our beliefs about ourselves. And if we don't believe in ourselves, if we believe that we are lacking in love, because we don't feel that from within, we don't feel the divine love around us, we choose not to see all the ways, all the small ways and big ways that we are supported every day, the messages that are coming through all the time. That's a perspective, that's a choice, and we get to decide kind of how the journey feels as we move through it. Our instincts, again, being in this present moment is the actual instinct of our heart and soul. Our mind wants to create stories, it wants to play games, it's trying to protect us. Our mind is trying to protect us. It doesn't always do that in a way that feels so great. We have to check our mind against our wisdom. We have to check our mind against our satisfaction. We have to be willing to listen, open up, and be vulnerable enough to look and to hear the true callings of our soul, because otherwise protection becomes like a fortress, but we're locked inside. We are moving on to action steps. The moment I realign with love, clear direction is presented to me. So the action is not one and all, right? It's not a specific thing that anyone is ever going to tell you to do. It's realigning with self-love, realigning with self-belief. Why are you doing what you're doing? How does it feel? See, sometimes we create goals that don't feel that great, and we get really fucking bummed out when they don't work out, but we just choose not to see how certain things change and unweave, certain relationships, partnerships, deals, things that we really, really want. We're so dead set on seeing it go through the way that we want it, but it doesn't work out that way. And it takes us a long time to see how that was a gift. We have to choose to believe that certain things aren't going to work out, and they may present bigger opportunities in the long run. But we have to not wall ourselves in. We have to be a little bit more vulnerable to see it and really listen to the people, the experiences, like listening to our truth. Okay? And we will attract those beautiful relationships and experiences that we're looking for. Compassion. Resolve your conflicts with compassion. Again, the protection, the softening, the boundaries. What are the conflicts? They're probably inner conflicts more than anything. It's probably a gut conflict, something that your spirit and what you see right now does not necessarily align. There's something going on. Someone's telling you something, or you feel something changing, but you don't have tangible evidence of that. You have to trust you. So important. Now, this is going to be what ties it all together. I am so appreciative of you being here. Make sure you come back next week so you can watch the final moon phase of this cycle, which is going to be the last quarter moon. The energy is going to start to get a little bit quieter, and we're going to take all of this energy and decide what we want to anchor in for the final week of this moon phase before we are in our quiet new moon phase again and planting seeds. So here we go. What ties it all together? When I lean on certainty and faith, I change my mind about the world I see. All things work best in conjunction with all things. I find this so interesting. Several different times I've gotten this message throughout the month of chakra balance and equilibrium. unity. We're bringing everything all together. It's full circle. Each wave moves into the next. There's no real separateness between every drop in the ocean, you know? So every wave moves into the next wave, and you're gonna feel it like that. So don't disregard how this feels and preparing this energy for the next phase and the next phase and the next phase. This will begin to feel very, very natural. Let me pull our one last bonus message before I forget about it. Here it is. Nurture. It's okay to want to stay home and be alone. I deserve days to myself, days to relax and simply be. I honor how I feel and take this day to do the things that feel nurturing to me. Take this week. Do the things that feel nurturing so you can bring balance back into your life. Take all that big, huge momentum, movement, and energy, and decide what in there matters to you, where you have to slow down and carve out conscious time to find the balance that feels satisfying in your everyday life. You don't want your life to just keep passing you by. Decide what matters to you and give it space. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you next week. Welcome back for the last quarter moon phase, and this is a phase where we are going to move again through the energy, because again, this is a wave of energy. It never starts, it never stops. Every phase that we are feeling into ourselves, that we are reflecting on our priorities, we are facilitating growth. We are noticing our patterns and where we want to change, how we want to move forward, and just moving the energy through us, noticing, being aware of ourselves is just really important. And life feels so much better when we are not numb. It just does. It's uncomfortable sometimes, but man, when you start to feel the appreciation for these small, beautiful, lighter things, it's because you've taken the time to let go of some stress, the heavy things, even temporarily. And that's what we're doing. We're kind of taking a new approach to self-care in our own minds and bodies and health by brightening our outlook just a little bit, choosing to take time for ourselves and to do things that are satisfying as we go through our day-to-day lives. So, reflecting on our priorities, what are yours and how do they feel? This moon phase and the theme, God and the goddess are not separate from you. Their stories enlighten you in describing the dance of creative male and female forces within each and every person. You are part of the source, the cosmic heart of all, and a willing participant in the eternal cosmic love affair between the physical and non-physical. God and goddess, matter and spirit, allow God-goddess energy to enter your world. Softly and gently close your eyes and imagine yourself floating into space, a black velvety matrix. All around you are shimmering, twinkling gold and silver stars. Float in this wondrous place of stillness and silence. Breathe in the silence. Through the stillness, you hear whispers flowing from your heart. Rest here, embraced by your soul, the essence of you. Breathe in love. Feel it illuminating and warming every corner of your being. Rest here in the safe arms of all. And when you are ready, open your eyes and feel into your day. Understand that you are being guided, that everything weaves together, that you can choose to feel that, experience it in a magical way, a softer way, or you can choose to experience it in a harsher way, in a way that's more stressful or filled with a little bit more pressure. There's always stress and pressure. There's always expectations. It's all going on all the time. That's never going to stop. Our perspective of it and what we do with it is really where we have our power, and that's what we're doing. Harnessing our power within this energy, at the same time, not taking ourselves quite so seriously. So we're being a little bit more playful with it as well. Foundation is what the castle of your soul is built upon as we focus on our priorities. To calm your monkey mind, do not feed the animal. Super interesting that this came up again in this God, goddess, masculine, feminine balance energy, because it also came up with the masculine earlier, where we talked about sometimes when we're uncomfortable, we will take that energy and stimulate things that are external to us rather than sitting with it, because that can be a nice distraction. It can numb out and take us away from the discomfort of looking at ourselves at the deep levels that we like to avoid. But there is nothing wrong with you deep down there. And that's what you have to realize. And until you let yourself believe that there is nothing wrong with you, that you are wonderful and guided and unique and exactly as you are, exactly where you're supposed to be, things will start to lighten up a little bit. It won't feel so harsh. That those veils, like of the rules, the shackles almost of rules that you've been believing were barriers or boxing you in your whole life, will start to dissolve. It's really weird. And you know what, we started earlier talking about boundaries, crossroads, letting go, and it's really interesting. Cycles of life, how our boundaries change when we change. Our boundaries don't feel so harsh eventually because we become more confident in our beliefs, our self-belief, and that it changes our experience. That's really interesting to kind of bring that all together. If you've been watching this the entire month, you'll understand what I'm talking about. If you have not, you might want to go back and watch from the new moon and kind of watch this entire story, really, of this energy weave together. Now that we have talked about our moon phase and theme, we're going to get into the intention and focus for the last quarter moon, the half moon. Team effort, charity, validation, and patience. Interesting. Angelic realms here, spirit guides here. So we're really looking at support from beyond, messages, assistance, seeing things beyond what they are, okay? When we want to control the boundaries are great, but at some point, again, they become brick walls. They become a fortress, not only to keep others out, but that keeps us in. And when we get more confident in our beliefs, we naturally not open up to the toxicity, but we soften because we don't feel under attack. We don't believe that anything is able to harm us in that way. That's what healing is. There's a softening. The fear of being harmed as we once were starts to soften and go away. Little bit by little bit by little bit. Satisfaction, creative satisfaction is a great way to anchor that in. Now, satisfying choices. Violet fire, transmutation, detoxification, psychic vision, constant distraction. Isn't that interesting? Distraction. Vulnerability. Showing vulnerability is a sign of strength. The woundedness, that holds these boundaries in that place where we're guarding ourselves. That's a self-fulfilling cycle. So as long as we feel wounded, we feel like a victim, we're going to protect ourselves that in certain ways. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it's up to us to decide when we're kind of tired of holding those walls up, using all of our precious energy to hold up the walls, to see it differently, to see our future unfolding in a more open way, to understand that we don't have to show strength in a stereotypical way to be strong. Feeling is incredibly courageous and strong. Now we're going to move into lessons of self-awareness. Consciousness, self-awareness, shut up. I could make this up. Literally, my brain could not plan this out if I tried. So that's why it's so fucking fun. Personal realization and prejudice. Forgiveness. You'll find freedom in forgiveness. Another repeating message. Pure intent. So there's an innocent exploration that we've been doing. Things that we needed to experience. Patterns that we needed to repeat, to feel over and over and over in order to have the full growth experience, the full enlightenment. And we might need to forgive ourselves a little bit. If we feel like we wasted time, if we feel like we wasted life, we can tend to always find a way to beat ourselves up. If we go out and create more of that experience, it's okay. It's okay, no matter how long it's gone on, it's okay. It's time to decide how we want to feel. And I really do feel there's a self-forgiveness. What happened here? Where'd my card go? Was there a card? Did I pick a card? Am I losing it? I'm losing it, right? Truth, speak from your heart. It is the only thing worth listening to. Y'all, I'm losing it. Actually losing my mind. Like I did not even see this until just now. But interesting note about truth is, again, that actually brings us full circle. We've been talking about truth again and again and again. I don't know why. You know why? I got distracted talking about spirit guides in the messages, right? That's what happened, right? But also noticing that that's the truth. The things that resonate with our heart, the things that and that's a difference. There's things that kind of stimulate triggers, but we're triggers are, we know what triggers are, but let's not buzzword it. Triggers stimulate a fear and anxiety response, right? This is a different response. This is a heart response. Resonance is something that feels true to your soul, even though you don't have evidence of it in front of you. Tune into that and believe in the messages, believe in the assistance from beyond that is helping you to heal, soften, lighten up, brighten your world, appreciate the little things. Because those are the things that help you get through the heavy stuff, the healing stuff. That there is deep, difficult stuff that we have to work through. So to have a softer side, a lighter side, people to play with, things to do that make us feel a little sweeter. Those are wonderful places and things. Those are never fruitless. They are absolutely worth your time and energy to focus on the things that bring you peace. When I'm in alignment with love, the universe, peace cannot be disrupted. So if you feel that in certain spaces, it feels different, honor that within yourself. And then if it feels different in a not so great way, honor that too. Now, I wanted to thank you so much for being here. If you are enjoying this complimentary self-care reading, would you like this video if you have not yet? And subscribe to our channel. We do go live every month at the full moon to talk about all this energy we are experiencing and how we play with it and use it to heal, grow, and different forms of self-care. Whether that is nurturing our physical bodies, nurturing our minds, our hearts, but moreover, connecting together in a real life way. We live life side by side and share those vulnerabilities that help us open up and let go of the shame. So join us every month for that. That's why you want to subscribe so you get notified, as well as join us in our Facebook group, Moonlit Magic Secret Society of Self-Care. I mentioned that, I don't know, 2 moon phases ago maybe, and you definitely want to join us there. Come and share your experiences. And on to our advice and resources. Language of light, rediscovery, humble wanderer, communication, and fearlessness. Turn your worrier into a warrior. Self-love, that value, that not wondering. Okay, there's something about knowing yourself deeply, a self-respect, where you stop wondering what other people are going to do to influence your journey, you know, or what's going to happen next, because there is really nothing you can do about so much of it. There are certain things we can use our energy for, and to wander is a great way to spend our energy, to go on the journey without depleting ourselves fully. Softly wander into this self-love without worry that there's something terrifying inside of you, because there really isn't. Everything that's inside of you is exactly as it's meant to be. I don't know what you believe or why you think there's something wrong with you, but I want you to know that this experience of trusting yourself is life-changing. And that seems so simple. It seems like we do this for other reasons, but learning to trust yourself, deciding to trust yourself, whatever that means for you, whatever path that takes you on, trusting your footsteps rather than trusting someone else to guide your footsteps, it will change you. Action steps. Cathedral of Light. Stubborn attitudes, extending the olive branch, artistry. Oneness. You are part of the universe and always will be. We actually began here with oneness. We keep coming back to oneness. There is a separateness that we believe is an illusion, okay? And this is something actually we talked about a whole bunch. Sorry about that. Bumped the camera. We talked about a whole bunch at the full moon. So if you weren't here for that message, check that out. But this like, not even competition, but where we want to see ourselves lifted without seeing the others around us lifted. Like there's not enough, right? Like we're hoping to get the last little scrap. That's not real. When we choose to give from our heart, and I mean energy, okay? I mean really true, core, authentic, real, purposeful energy. That's because we have the energy to give. It's really, really important that we're aware of who we are allowing to draw from us. We are all of the same thing, but not everyone is of the same belief. They're not of, and they're going to, rather than do this for themselves, they're going to attach to you. So just to be very aware, everything, okay, is one, and you should not create barriers to lock yourself in away from others in the attempt to protect yourself. But be aware, be wise in the spirit of oneness. Our final message, what ties it all together? I am so appreciative of you being here. Next week, we move into a brand new moon phase, the new moon again. So our energy is quieting right now, and then it's going to be this still phase again that we are kind of planting brand new seeds with this idea of clarity. We are starting the phase with knowing your worth, This is the next phase for next week. And I find that so interesting that we've been preparing ourselves for this, for finding that truth at the core of ourselves. And it has to do with how we see ourselves, what we believe, and how we value ourselves, and how we respond to that in that playful experience with the outside world. So next week we are on to a brand new moon phase. Make sure you join us for that. Here is what ties it all together. Galactic vibration, personal conviction, raising your resilience in the direct channel. Everything up here has been about connecting to the divine. Out of chaos comes creation. Here again is this chakra balance, cycles. We started this entire experience talking about cycles. That's what this is. One wave into the next. It keeps moving. Each and everything about the moon is about cycles. And so once we start to feel that, we start to feel this balance, okay? Surrender, tune into it, learn into the certainty, look in the mirror. Do not be afraid of anything you might find, no matter how deep and dark it is down there. You learn to trust yourself. You surrender into that, into what your unique experience of this world feels like it could be, should be, will be. The chaos of the mind, okay, creation of the body, chaos of the world, creation of the soul. Do not discount that. Here's our very final message. Play. Our whole entire experience here is about lightening up. This self-care experience is playful so that we can sustain the growth and healing experiences, the deeper, heavier, harder to do stuff. We're playing with all of this energy so that we can continue on the journey and keep our head up high, okay? I am completely engaged in what I do. In the here and now, I call it play instead of work. I am deeply fulfilled by all that I do. I am so appreciative of you being here. As I said very first, the new moon, play brings it all together. Thank you, thank you, thank you. See you next week.